Hello and welcome to a quick overview of the Star Citizen GamesCom Presentation. They showed mostly gameplay that was a mix of what was coming in 3.0 and some stuff that was coming in the near future. There were a good couple of highlights though of quite impressive tech though that they've got sorted. The demo starts with them spawning on Delamar or Levski. The spawner basically spawns in his pants. You can now wear what you want to wear. It's all modular clothing, armor's all modular. You can wear different arms to different shoes to different whatever, and you can do that all through your Mobiglass. The Mobiglass has been very streamlined with its UI and its design. Stamina and heart rate and oxygen are now important. The apps on the Mobiglass, there's a contract manager which shows quests. Missions are merged now with the Subsumption AI, allowing for a lot in 3.0. And when I say a lot, what I mean is they've got 26 archetypes of missions that can be combined in multiple combinations. It's kind of modular and varied for missions. This allows for missions to always be a bit different and have lots of different endings, lots of different middles, be on different locations. But also the system will spawn counter missions, which will be missions generated directly in opposition to a mission that's taken, and the system will be able to track all of that. The Cry Astro Mobiglass tab there will allow you to repair and supply at appropriate areas through your Mobiglass, your ship and everything when you go to land on a Cry Astro. The Equipment Manager allows for you to customize your character. In 3.0, it will just change your clothes when you click on it, and it's not got any like how did I change helmet, how did I change clothes, it will just like instantly change in 3.0. If you hit F and hold it, you can interact with the verse, you can click buttons, interact with doors, click buttons on cockpits. You can also use the shortcuts to do any of the normal key presses that you could do in a cockpit, but you don't have to anymore. You can literally flick buttons and switches if you want to more manually. The mouse will let you control your movement speed with mouse wheel now, so you can kind of walk more naturally through areas, you can sneak, you can do runs and jogs and stuff. The NPCs are moving around in the demo, they're tracking players, they're looking at them. This is the Subsumption AI and animations that they've got, so that they say stuff as players walk by as well. NPCs are going to have schedules and they're going to move about the verse, and it makes the verse in 3.0 feel much more alive having those NPCs there. Instead of a tutorial, they've got hints. In 3.1, ships will be purchasable with Alpha UEC, it was stated. So they show the new Mars Eckhart, and they take a mission by going up to him and talking to him. Then they show off some of the new tech they've been working on that they kept very quiet. There's mouth moving in-game, and this is actually driven face over IP with spatialized voices. So you can talk, and you'll see your mouth move in-game. If you've got a webcam, you can track your mouth, you can track your face and what your face is doing. And if you're wearing a helmet, this will filter the voice over IP through speakers or whatever, or through comms, so it's not as spatialized in the same way. But Faceware is a company that drives their head rigs, drives this technology. It tracks really well. It tracks looked like where your eyes were moving and wrinkles. It was very impressive. Now Spectrum is going to be integrated into the game, and that's going to handle all of the back end for that face over IP and voice over IP stuff. So it's also going to handle parties, lobbies, organisation and more on that Spectrum integration. But face over IP is made possible by working with a company called Faceware, and they are basically able to facially track with that webcam. They showed off Liam Cunningham's character, the Onion Knight, with talking. And on multiple characters as well. So it doesn't matter what character you are, you can talk, blink, and move the face of any character. And it works with almost any webcam and allows for head tracking as well. So it's effectively got native track IR integration, but just with a normal webcam. They are also going to have a face tracker cam that will give the best possible response, though it's not required. Chris did mention as well, obviously they've had problems with the HOTAS before, and they said they choose their partners better now. So hopefully that will come together. But if you're considering buying something that gives you face tracking better than a webcam, try your webcam first. If there's no need to buy anything, then there's no need to buy anything. There were some bugs with it, and it was quite funny. Like the faces were gurning, and you could see it was trying to track things and doing weird facial expressions. But some of the cool stuff you can do, You're able to hail people with your mobiGlas. You're literally able to call other players, and that facially go over as well. So you're literally able to talk to other players, see their mouths move, see them react, see the backgrounds behind them on their mobiGlasses as well, which is pretty cool. And this is the stuff they were working with. The render-to-texture tech now allows this. There's new shops in 3.0 with conscientious objects, allowing you to buy lots and lots of new gear, and you can use the mobiGlas to purchase stuff and to interact with items off the shelves. They go outside and then go to garages outside Delamar. It shows them if you take off your helmet, you start to run out of oxygen outside and put it on back quickly before he suffocates. They then actually show the comms calls by talking to another player, and then they ride off with in an Ursa rover to a Constellation Aquila that's parked. All the bridge crew of the Connie, they get into the seats there. They fly off into space. Delamar is a small planetoid, around 200 kilometers in size, but as we see as they zoom out, it is pretty huge as a thing, even if it's supposed to be this small object. Space looks much better than previously. They've really improved the visuals of space for 3.0, and there's lots of visuals there that are quite appealing. One of the players crashes, unfortunately, and one of the other players tries to take on the seat there, but the ship has actually had like a hard crash, and they do require a restart of the demo, which is caused some issues. They had to quickly go back through to this point that we're at now. But then, once they got that back on track, they do travel to Daymar. They show the atmospheric entry that burns round the shield. They land near a derelict. They travel to it in an Ursa. And then they show some new animations for the Devastator shotgun. The derelict is freshly crashed and still on fire. They grab a black box, and then some other players attack them in a cutlass and a buccaneer. They take out the cutlass with a railgun, but it also seems to ram into a rock, which causes it to blow up. And then some other players come and assist them in an Idris. So the Idris lands, and it looks amazing. The massive play areas on planets now allow capital ships to land on them, which is pretty awesome. They had some issues driving the Ursa onto the ship. It was clipping through, and then the Ursa kind of collapsed and exploded. One of the players that was originally there, though, in the mission does run onto the Idris, and he gets a lift. The Idris then retracts its landing gear and flies into orbit. They had a quick break there because they needed to get the players that had died and weird things had happened to back on the ship. When they come back, they travel to Yella, and then Idris on Idris combat occurs. There is an enemy Idris there that was controlled by players, and fighters fly out and they fight each other. There's railgun shots, there's low frame rates, but the combat is pretty cool. Combat between capital ships is something that we've been waiting for ages. Even them just showing it closed environment like this is pretty awesome, and that railgun firing is pretty satisfying as well. So yeah, two capital ships fighting with support, it's pretty amazeballs. And one of the Idrises explodes, and the explosion's pretty cool. They then spawned two Idrises in for a fight as like an extra again, just to fight them. And one of the Idrises is blown in half during combat and then is rammed to make it explode. The battles were a bit quick, and the time to kill certainly needs to be increased for capital ships. And I don't think I saw any shields on the Idris either. Obviously they wanted it for the demo for them to be quick to kill. There were issues with the demo. There was a crash, which was annoying, but I am extremely impressed with the voiceover IP, the faceover IP, and the capital ship battles. They also showed off the 600 series that went on concept sale. There's the standard luxury model for $400 and the exploration variant for $435, and the exploration version comes with a exploration module, so it's going to have be modular ship rather than hull variant. That exploration module comes with better scanners and an Origin rover, and I believe that's the only difference. The ship size is 61.5 by 43 by 18.5 meters, which is slightly longer than the Constellation, but twice as wide. There's also a mention of the up-and-coming X1 open canopy racer, which is basically Origin's version of a motorcycle. I'm hoping to see a motorcycle with wheels. And that was basically the rough of the Gamescom presentation. Hope some of you enjoyed it. We'll try and get up with the better looking press demo footage of that demo, because there were some issues with it, but it was pretty impressive nonetheless. It wouldn't be a CIG stream if there wasn't some form of problem along the way. Every month we give away a ship. For August it's a Nox Q. All you need to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen content during the month. Have you got any questions about the presentation, about Alpha 3.0, about exactly what's going to be in it? Because obviously 3.0 won't contain capital ships or that voice over IP or that face over IP tech. That will be coming a bit later. Yeah, ask any questions you want. A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. Honestly, guys, thank you so much for that. You are legends. Everything we've talked about, including the original stream, will be linked below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. There'll be loads of videos going out about this over the next few days, looking at breakdowns of the actual what happened, the combat, issues that they had, ship buyer's guides on the 600i, and more. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the verse.